What is up, guys? Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'll be doing the planet profile for set 4 for the air planet of Rokah. I'll do a quick recap of all the planets cards so far, and then I'll get to the brand new ones just here. So, to start off, the planet Rokah is the air planet. It's the second furthest planet from the sun, and the way it tends to play is by messing up your opponent's plays in order for you to play quite simple plays in response, and then win the game mainly through stopping your opponents. So at the end of your turn, if you have a Rokah creature on your planet, you can look at one random card in your opponent's hands, which just gives you clues towards what you're going to do to mess up their plays further in the game. So creatures from set 1, we've got Vazuzu, Floating Rock with non-floating rock on top, Jet Punch, Flappy Dragon, Zinza, Guster, really good card, Aeronite, and the Secret of the Floating Rock. Set 2, we have Fledge, Star Absorber, the best card in the game, Pecky, Space Patrolman, again apparently, the Weatherman archetype, we have Clued Soon and their combiner, Rainbow, and then Weather Machine. We then have, this was the limited edition card in Legends of the Cosmos, Phenomenus the Bright, designed by Daniel Yun. And then set 3, we've got Bickerbell Bird, Terracon of Rokah, the Chaos Beast, which you can see here, Dandy, the Elitist, Chinook the Meloder, a couple of other Weathermen in Lightning and Typhoon, Lumiveron, and then 4-starred Feather, which is a really strong search card. So that's everything for Rokah already. I'll get to the brand new set 4 stuff now. So Rokah is kind of the weakest planet at the moment, mainly because it's the only planet that doesn't have a starter deck, which will change after set 4. But I know I've had a few people complain that Rokah is probably the worst planet so far, and they'd like to see that change. That will definitely change. However, maybe not while set 4's out, just simply because if I make Rokah really strong, then release a starter deck to make them even stronger after that, they'll just be too OP. So definitely got some good cards in this video, and I'll start with probably one of the strongest. It's a card called Facetime. Quite creepy, just a lot of flying features on a face. It's got 160 power and 120 health for a 4-star, and I've also, if you haven't noticed, I've changed the colour of Rokah's planet writing. I just thought it was weird the way it was like pink and blue, whereas every other planet's like red on red or green on green. So I've just done like kind of peach on a lighter peach colour, which didn't print off very clearly, but it will be clear in the final cards. So, really interesting card. If this creature would be killed by an opponent's attack or creature ability, you can halve its health instead, and if this creature's health becomes 30 or lower, it is killed. So, your opponent attacks it once, its health goes down to 60, they attack it again, reaches 30, so it dies. However, you could make a whole deck out of this card, really. If you use cards like Galactihelm to boost its health so that every time it's halved, it then takes longer to kill, or things like Eternity Amulet could really cause your opponent some problems, and they'd maybe have to use a strong resource like a Galaxy Crash or something to get around it. But Facetime, I think, is going to be a really problematic card. Definitely helps out the planet Rokah and just like stalling cards in general, and will be an absolute nightmare for your opponent. So it's also a common. I was thinking of making it a rare because I think it's definitely good enough to be, but going to be very easy to get your hands on in set 4. Next up, Rokah doesn't really have a boss creature that has no ability. So here's one. Its name is Zatalon. It's a 7-star simply with 400 power, 300 health and no ability. It's a rare. It's just something the planet's needed. I still enjoy making cards with no abilities. I can fit more artwork on them, and also it keeps the game nice and simple for younger players or players who are just getting into the game, aren't overwhelmed by loads of card text. So definitely necessary, and this is a rare in set 4, so you're going to be getting some nice, powerful, high-star creatures in set 4. Next up, I have revealed this card already. It's actually a card from the planet Gaios called Rainstorm Rider, drawn by the very talented Gavora. 220 power, 140 health, and when this creature is killed by an attack, whether it's its own attack, like committing suicide on your turn, or your opponent attacking into it, you can free play one of your handed 4-star or lower Rokah creatures. Rokah has lots of good 4-star or lower creatures, including most of the basic cards for the Weatherman archetype. You've also got cards like Wildwing, the best card in the game, Floating Rock with non-floating rock on top, and stuff like that. So Rainstorm Rider, I think it will definitely see use in Rokah decks, even though it's a Gauss creature. Next up, another card designed by Gavora. This is Garood Overseer. 240 power, 330 health for a 6-star, and you can guess the name of 2 of your opponent's handed cards, and if correct, you get to free play this creature. If you're not correct, you can't play this card this turn, but you're getting a 6-star for free pretty much with good stats. 330 health's quite a pain to get past. It can take out a Pelfam. And yeah, really love the artwork. And obviously it combos nicely with the Planet Rokah because you get to look at your opponent's hand through that. So then you can easily guess 2 cards to bring out your Garood Overseer. Next up, I'm kind of excited about this one. We have the Kubox Keeper. He's a 2-star, again a common, with 80 power and 70 health. Oh, sorry, Garood Overseer is a rare, by the way. Kubox Keeper, 80 power, 70 health, 2 stars. If this zoned creature is killed by a card ability, free play one of your different killed 2-star Rokah creatures. An interesting card. The fact it says an ability, not just like your opponent's ability, means you can really take advantage of this with something. Like if you have this card zoned and your opponent's got lots of stuff out, you can play a Galaxy Crash. Your Kubox Keeper dies, but you'll get to bring out something like a non-floating rock on top, maybe a Fledge, or even something like a Star Absorber, which can actually be a really powerful card. It could be a great counter move to kind of get off some big plays with Kubox Keeper. I think it's going to be a fun card, and I'm going to show you a support card for the planet in the form of a resource, which is really going to help. It's the next... I'm excited to show you this. I haven't made a floating rock card since set 1. So we have floating rock with non-floating rock on top. We have the secret of the floating rock. The next part in the floating rock saga, I thought I'd give non-floating rock some focus. So this is the ultimate betrayal of non-floating rock. And there the story continues in the very exciting non-floating rock saga. And this reads, you kill one of your zoned 2-star or lower Rokah creatures to free play one of your galaxied 6-star or higher Rokah creatures. So obviously in the artwork, floating rock with non-floating rock is ununiting and sacrificing itself to free play something like a Garood Overseer or a Zatalon. Or the strongest card you can actually play with this at the moment is Phenomenus the Bright. Unfortunately, you can't free play a Terracon because it's a Chaos Beast, and you can't free play Chaos Beasts. But this card is going to open up some really, really strong plays, I think. You're getting a really powerful card from your galaxy for like nothing. I might even make this kind of a 6 or 7-star Rokah creature just so you can't bring out super powerful stuff that I make in the future. But yeah, I think the ultimate betrayal of the non-floating rock is going to be a very good card. Combos really well with Kubox Keeper. You can use ultimate betrayal, sacrifice a Kubox Keeper to bring out like a Garood Overseer, let's say. Then Kubox Keeper's ability will activate and you can bring out a floating rock with non-floating rock on top as well. Both for free, which is great. Next up, the final regular creature. We do have a combiner to come, which is exciting, but we have Batata, who's a 4-star with 290 power and 200 health, which is great for a 4-star. However, its ability has a slight drawback. If your opponent's planet has more zones than yours, kill this zoned creature. So it's quite good because you actually have control of this. If you just put this in a deck where you're buying lots of zones, and it'll be a good card. It's a common, 3 points for an attack for a 4-star. Really good card, I think. Might see playing like combiner themed decks. It also combos well with like starvation decks, and if you're using a card like Guster to take away your opponent's zones, that's really going to help. But yeah, quite standard. The next card, I'm really happy with the artwork on this. I've finally done a combiner that fits perfectly into 2 cards, and its name is Avamont the Fortress. So we have Avamont the Fortress with his giant fist. We've got the Punch Fist and the Guard Fist. Amazing stats, 430 power and 360 health, which is like an 8-star on its own, and a really good ability, which has a few parts. So when you play this card, you just gain 1 creature zone straight away. I think a big problem with combiners is they take up a lot of zones. So you play 2 straight away, and then you have no more creature zones to do combos and things in, even though a lot of combiners are actually combo cards. So you play this guy, instantly get another creature zone into which you can play another Rokah creature and do some more damage. Then every time your turn ends, you gain 1 point for every other zoned Rokah creature. So excluding this guy, you'll have your new creature zone, get a point for a creature in there, and then if your opponent has anything too, you can gain points for that. And whilst this creature is zoned, your opponent cannot attack other Rokah creatures. He's just a beast, this guy. I mean, he's going to be a nightmare to get around if your opponent doesn't have a resource card that can kill it. Protects your weaker creatures like a Syndian type ability. Gives you zones. Great stats. Just an all-round fantastic combiner. and I really think he's one of the strongest combiners in the game. So Avamont, I'm very happy with. Next up, that's it for the kind of Rokah support. Got a few generic things now. We have, first up, a permanent resource called the Floating Temples of Temp Floaty. This is just not Rokah related, but it's a kind of landscape inside the planet Rokah. So that's why I'm showing it in this video. And it reads, once per turn, if you have no cards in your hand, you gain 1 point and 2 stars. Kind of interesting ability. I know it doesn't happen very often where you've got no cards in hand, but you can make a deck around this potentially using cards like Card Consuming Cosmic Creator to reduce your hand, and you're really going to gain some advantage off this if you purposely run out of cards in your hand. There'll be more cards to support Temp Floaty coming soon, but for now, this is all you're getting. And the final card we have is a draw power card. It's an activator called Galactic Journey. Big part of the lore, it shows Bogabooga's journey from Pelisium, round Rokah, and then towards Gaios and Barrow, where all the action is. And it reads, when your opponent plays an activator, you play this, draw 1 card, and then draw 1 additional card for every other activator previously played in this play, excluding this card. So the term play there sounds a bit strange. But so your opponent plays a Beast of the Black Hole, you play this, and you draw 1 card. It doesn't stop the Beast of the Black Hole, unfortunately. But if there's a long chain where like your opponent Beast of the Black Holes you then like activation, activator it, your opponent activation, activates that, then you can play a Galactic Journey. Because there's previously been 3 activators played, you draw 3 cards, which is amazing. So Galactic Journey, don't know how much it's going to be used, but quite a funny card if you use it right. And yeah, they're all the new cards. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 I've just shown you. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, give a thumbs up for the planet Rokah. I know it's been an underappreciated planet till now, but I think arguably it has the strongest support out of any planet so far in set 4, which is fantastic. Hopefully it'll be winning some tournaments or something soon. I think my favourite card in this video, it's hard, maybe the ultimate Betrayal of the Floating Rock, and if not, then definitely Avamont as a creature is my favourite for the planet Rokah. So really excited to see how Rokah does after set 4. Change the play style slightly, actually. I think I'm done with the Weathermen for now. I feel like that archetype has fulfilled what I wanted it to fulfill. But yeah, let me know what you think of this support. Let me know if you think anything's too powerful or weak. I can always change stuff before the release of set 4. I have now actually finished every artwork for set 4, so it's very, very quickly approaching. Still got lots of cards to show, so stay tuned for that. Follow me on Instagram, @ChaosGalaxyTCG. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.